Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Yo, you tuned in to Guerilla Cross Radio.
Yeah. What's up? Welcome to Unnamed Sports Show right here on Guerilla Cross Radio. Streaming live on GuerillaCross.com and that Guerilla Cross app. Make sure you download it for free. We are live every Monday and Thursday and whatever other day we want to be on because there's so much to talk about. And one of us was out of town and he was really upset that he didn't get any shows in this week.
I appreciate that. You making special exceptions.
You feel me?
Because Thursday I was like, yeah, I'll be back Thursday. Nope.
And you're like, nope,
well,
not yet.
I will not be back.
Not yet. My man, just in time, Josh Williams in the building. What's good?
We're going to have to make a lot of eye contact today. I'm going to have to continue to shift myself. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking to the screen.
I mean, we do have somebody else coming in, so you'll be able to shift back once my man Nick Hamilton gets here.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Definitely took, it felt like planes, trains, and automobiles to get back to Vegas, but I made it back.
All right, so tell the people where you were at.
I was in Toronto. I left Sunday of Memorial Weekend to really just go up for fun. It was I booked the travel during the Philly series. I thought they were going to lose to Philly.
Oh wow!
And I was close. I was close to being right. And
close to being right.
Kawhi got a triple doink in cash for a game winner to make that a little awkward, But yeah, I was up there really just to visit some friends, hang out. When I was there last summer for the Big Three, I was there for like 30 seconds, and I really kind of didn't see people, so I wanted to.
I feel that.
Make sure I got back up there, hang out with my people.
That's good, man. That's good.
The city is on fire, though. I'll say that.
How is it out there, man? You being out there, and you've had connections and ties to Toronto before.
Yeah, it's crazy. People were riding the trolley cars like on the roof, like they're like up on the roof.
Yeah.
No one got arrested. Like a couple of people I talked to, they were so proud that no one had been arrested.
Yeah.
So
it's Canada. Isn't everybody nice out there?
Yeah. No way. Okay. So look. So it's so funny, right? So I was sitting down with two of my girls, and one of them was saying, I was like, oh yeah, do you remember when the Vancouver Canucks, when they lost the Stanley Cup, there was like a big riot, and so like they were like trying to figure out what year it was, right? Man, they pulled up the riot. It was $5 million in damage, and I was like, oh my god! I was like, $5 million. You burn the side of a building, like one,
That's
maybe
it?
one
building.
It'll be all right. I promise. it'll be okay.
That's funny. So how do you think Toronto is going to act if they do pull this upset off and win the NBA championship? First non-USA team in the NBA Finals in the history.
Yep.
An African just tore up Game 1.
Yep.
So, listen, man, this game is universal now.
Yeah.
It's expanding outside of the United States, which, we have seen coming for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll be very emotional. The Canadians, especially after Vancouver left, and Toronto became the Canadian team. It was interesting just being in Edmonton and people talking about the Raptors in Edmonton, because that was where I connected through last night. Anyway, I don't think it's going to be too crazy. I think it'll be a lot of tears, a lot of people that are, because the city has briefly, over some years morphed into more of a basketball town.
Yeah.
I think it'll always be a Leafs town, but the Leafs will always, until the Leafs are like legitimately back, like, they win a cup or no, they'd have to win a cup. If they win a cup and they stay there for like 2 or 3 years, I think I think that both teams can have their place, but people are so just fed up with the Leafs, and they've been that way for a long time, that the Raptors are definitely more the feel of the Toronto City team. The Leafs are more, honestly, it's a little bit more of the white team. Whereas when you go to Raptors games or you see Raptor, like anything, if like, it was funny because some of my friends were talking about it, and like it was basically the Leafs played and the Raptors played on the same day, like playoffs.
Yeah.
And Jurassic Park, where the fans outside go, I was asking, I was like, do the Leafs have a name for it? They're like, no, they just go to the same area.
Really?
Yeah.
So they didn't even name it.
I didn't even name it. Yeah. And so but they both had like games, and when you cut to the Leaf games, it's all just white guys out there. And then you cut to the Raptor games, and it's like everybody, and that's really more what Toronto is. Toronto is one of the most multicultural, diverse cities in the world. Yeah. And so, yeah.
It's cool, man.
Yep.
So you're wearing your Drake jersey that you was wearing last night, right? Is that why you wore it?
No.
Oh.
I'm wearing Jerome's jersey.
All right, Jerome Williams.
Yeah. I mean, Toronto will always have a place in our heart. I cheer for Steph really because of Toronto, because we became friends, and I got to know him in Toronto.
How close are you guys in age?
He's what, 4 years behind me?
4 years?
5 years?
All right.
Yeah. That's why that one.
So you used to whoop him at one-on-one.
No. Oh, when we were kids, I took care of him, and that's the claim to fame.
But then he grew up, and it was like a little bit different.
He was good. He was good when he was 12. When he was 12, he was a problem. He was just small.
Did you know when he was 12 that he would be,
if he grew,
a problem?
Yeah. If he grew, because his mom, Sonia's not that tall. Sonia's like only like 5'5", 5'6", and then Dell's not that tall. Dell's like 6'2", 6'3". So it really, for him, it just came down to, and then you got to think too, that was when the league was, everybody, and then Allen Iverson. Allen was like the only small dude. You really think about it. Point guards were 6'4", 6'5", like, the league has changed a lot for him as well. He was a transitional player for sure, but the league has allowed more of those type of players to have a role, figure themselves out in the league. Whereas 20 years ago, that guy would have had to go overseas and just kill overseas. So, but yeah, no, he could. I mean, 12 years old, was hitting NBA half court shots.
So you were in Toronto. Did you go to the game last night before you flew back to Vegas?
That's a negative. That's
what?
A negative. 30,000 to sit on the floor for the game. One of my homegirls. You
didn't have any homie hookups there?
I do, but no.
You couldn't have got in the coattails?
No.
So you didn't even know. You didn't know Jerome was in town?
No, I did not know Jerome was in town.
Your brother was in town, because I saw him on TV.
Wait.
And so I expected you to be there.
Wait. So the worst part is, on Sunday, before I flew out, Jerome knew I was going. I told him, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to Toronto, yada, yada, yada. Oh, okay, I'm just going up there, hang out with some of my friends.
Yeah.
He was like, are you going to the game? I was like, no, probably not. My flight is, because my flight got delayed, but, I was supposed to be at the airport by halftime, really.
Yeah.
So I did. That's when I got to the airport. So no, I did not know Jerome was there. And then like I'm at the airport, and like all my friends from Toronto are like, hey, Jerome's at the game. And I'm like, what do you mean Jerome's at the game? So yeah, no words.
That's funny, man.
No,
I figured he would be there because it's Toronto's first time in the finals.
I thought so too.
And I knew they'd be bringing a lot of people back.
Text him during the day. Didn't say anything.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
Does he like you? Be honest.
At times, I wonder. There are some times.
Oh, man.
Definitely some times.
We're going to have to get him on the show and talk to him about that.
We'll see.
I'll try.
We'll see.
Is he playing in the Big Three this year? Or
No.
He's not playing anymore.
Yeah, he's done. He's the president of the Young Three.
Okay.
It's more, I mean, not necessarily more his lane, but because he would love to still be playing, but his son got to see him play.
Yeah.
So that was really cool for him.
That's cool.
Yeah, he actually posted recently, because he posted like kind of his Big Three highlight package, and he's like, Jeremiah finally gets some HD video of his dad doing something. So like, cause all of his videos are grainy,
Yeah.
old footage.
Square.
Yeah, old footage. So
That's funny.
So I think that was the best part of that whole experience for him.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
that's good. So that's an official that you didn't buy that at the store.
No, I got this from the Raptors when he was there.
Yeah.
This isn't his, but I mean he probably could fit it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've stolen a couple of his jerseys.
Oh,
right?
oh, yeah. There have been some thefts.
I think you had the Pistons one in here.
Yep. That was his.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anywhere else? Chicago. No, I bought a Chicago.
Okay.
I bought that one. That one I bought. But everywhere else, that was Jerome's. That was swiped in the laundry basket. I was a very, very accomplished thief.
That works, man. Listen, we have my man Nick Hamilton. He does radio out in L.A. and, a lot of journalism work out there. So he's going to be coming in the studio sometime soon. My man Mike Dixon, bro, where you at? Not responding. But he might be in the studio. Probably not. But from Vegas Sports Daily, which I shouldn't even push his website without him being here. But shout out to Mike Dixon, Vegas Sports Daily. They're doing a lot of stuff out here. Covering Vegas sports. So
that was the gentleman that we met at the
we met him at the hockey game.
The hockey, okay.
Yep. So we've been connecting a lot, and
nice.
He invited me to a Ryan Reeves event the other night, but I had a show going on at the same time.
Oh,
so he got an interview with
unfortunate.
Ryan Reeves. I told him to give me a radio drop. I doubt he did.
Yeah,
we'll get our own.
Fair enough.
Get our own. But man, we're gonna jump into it right now. We had Game 1 of the NBA Finals. The first game, like I said, outside of the United States ever.
In the finals.
In the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
So Toronto looked like it was popping on TV. You were there. You said it was popping.
Yep.
They fed off the crowd, and they did what they had to do. They did what I thought they were going to do also. Golden State had a lot of time off. I think 9 days.
No, they had 10 days.
10
they had
days
a full 10 days, yeah.
From their last game. Anytime you have that much time off, it's never a good thing. Another bad thing is DeMarcus Cousins came back. We talked about that yesterday, how we think that's going to be a negative. I'm not sure how you feel, so I'll get your take on that.
Okay. Right now?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right.
I thought you were going to jump in, so I'm like,
you like stop. Look, we talked about I had talked about this a few weeks ago when they even were, when they started hinting that, Cousins from a torn quadricep. How? First off, how?
Yeah.
What are we doing? But I thought the way that they played it was well, but he hasn't moved well all year.
Yeah.
He didn't look good when he came back the first time to me. Dave always was a proponent of like, give him some time. He looks fine. And I'm like, he's not moving well.
I thought he was 80% at best.
Yeah, at his best during the season.
Year,
yeah. So now you're saying 50% DeMarcus Cousins. So he's exactly where he should be on the rotation, coming off the bench. You know what I mean? Like, because when it comes down to it, his footwork, his skill level is still far superior to most of the people that they're going to run at him.
Yeah.
So, so if he's able to just go be big and then get you some rebounds, possibly do a couple things that just simply, I think the main thing is you're hoping for the energy that he gets from being in the finals.
Yeah.
So that from that side of it, I can understand playing him, because you never know, like maybe he gives you 10, 12 rebounds off the bench. That's big. You know what I mean? Like it just is. But I think that it does.
He gets enough time to get that many rebounds. Last night I'm not sure how many minutes he got. It looked like no more than 8.
Okay.
I'll look that up right now.
I was thinking like 12 to 15.
Could have been. I don't even think he was in that long, to be honest. But it's possible. But listen, I'm a diehard Laker fan. In case anybody didn't know. I grew up in the time when I got to see Cream's last best days, probably early 80s, which I wasn't a huge super fan yet. I became a super fan in about 87.
Okay.
Is when I was like watching every single game.
Yeah.
I'd watch some finals games when they were on TV. I'd sit there and watch them.
Yeah, they were your team.
Yeah.
But they were the team that you liked.
Exactly. I wasn't diehard till about 87. So 87 is when Cream, he was supposed to retire. He said, I'm coming back for 2 more years, blah, blah, blah. So I saw Cream's last year, NBA Finals, 1989. Got swept by the Pistons. I would take Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1989 in a race over DeMarcus Cousins right now.
Wow.
That's how slow DeMarcus Cousins look. We always laughed at Cream because the whole team is a fast-breaking team.
Yeah.
Showtime Lakers. They'd run up the court. If the play was for Cream, they had to slow it down, wait for him to.
Hey, man.
And it took forever for him to get down.
You carry Lanier up and down the floor for 82 games. Nice.
That was good. What's his name?
What?
What's his name in the movie?
Oh, no. That I'm blanking on. that.
I knew it forever, and I can't remember it.
I'm blanking. As soon as you said it, it was gone.
I'm really mad that I forgot.
That's bothering me,
I'm really mad
too.
that I forgot.
I'll think of it probably mid-show. That's too funny.
But I just, watching DeMarcus Cousins reminded me of that.
Yeah.
And this dude's young, and I'm afraid he's going to end up hurting himself again and costing him more money because everyone's already thinking he's going to lose money.
He's injury-prone, yeah.
And injury-prone, but he has a contract, coming up. He only signed a 1-year deal with Golden State.
What do you think? What do you think in terms of what should he do versus what Golden State should do in the season with him?
I personally think he should have sat out. I know. Listen, you're if you love the game and it's not all about the money, which I kind of respect about him doing this.
Yeah.
Your ultimate goal is to win a championship, get to the finals, play in the finals. So for that, I respect what he's doing. It's like, look, this dude wants to play in the finals.
Yeah.
So I respect that. For him in the future, this could hurt him because teams are going to see like, yo, he's not close to being done.
He's not right. So
he looks another year away. So why are we going to give him a big contract?
Yeah.
I think he might have to sign another year. He might be able to stay in Golden State. I don't think they really want him. He slows their team down.
So that's how you feel from the Golden State perspective.
Roger Murdoch.
What do you think? Good job.
It's on Google.
I was gonna say Murdoch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have remembered Roger, but What do you think he wants to do? What do you think the best thing for him to do is?
I mean, I think he wants to get a big contract, which he's not going to get this year.
I think so. So for me,
I think a 2-year contract's the most anyone's going to take a chance on.
I think for me, if I was him, I would sign a 2-year. If I was lucky, I would try to sign a 2-year with Golden State.
Yeah.
But I think from a Golden State perspective, it all depends on what happens with KD. Yeah. If KD stays, then DeMarcus has to go. If KD leaves, then you kind of soften that blow a little bit because what if you do end up getting 85% Boogie again? That does keep the window open a little further. If we're saying he's 85% of what he was and he's not going to get hurt again in the next 2 years, like he's able to come back and function, I think that still gives them a little bit more cushion to keep going. You know what I mean? Everybody else is under contract. Draymond's still under contract. Clay, they'll more than likely re-sign. So
Draymond's under contract, but also up for an extension.
Yeah, he's up for an extension.
Clay, they'll probably re-sign. He's not going to get the Supermax, which Golden State is probably happy about.
Yes, very happy. I'd be ecstatic.
And then they have to worry about Kevin Durant, which I don't think Kevin Durant re-signs. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't. And we'll see what happens.
If Golden State wins Game 2, that helps. Because I don't know. KD is
you think his mind's not made up by now?
He's a hard one to read. He's a different cat. He's extremely sensitive.
Because we keep hearing the rumors, everyone, they know that this is going to happen. They know he's going here. And I've heard so many different, they know for sure he's going here. They know he's not going to 3 different places for sure. I don't even know if the players know it. And I think it takes time. Like, they might know where they might think they want to go, but they still have to meet. They still have to see if the business side of this interview makes sense and is a good deal. And if they like the people they're going to play under, general managers, owners, stuff like that. So if he's dedicated to the Knicks and he goes and talks to James Dolan, he might be like, you know what? I all year might have been saying I'm going to go here to my people.
He's horrible.
But now I've talked to James Dolan and no, they have no vision. I'm not going to stay here.
I'm the only vision. So unless I go do it, we're going to be stuck.
Yeah.
So
and he might hate his personality. I mean, you just don't know. That's why I don't think players really even know right now.
Yeah.
Of course, they probably have their preference, what they think they want to do, but until you actually, we thought Paul George was going to be a Laker all year last year.
Yeah.
Until the playoffs hit, and you're like, well, he might actually stay. And it ended up happening, but pretty much throughout the year, everybody was saying for a year and a half that Paul George was going to be a Laker. So you just don't know what's going to happen. So, I mean, with Durant, they say he might come back game 3 or 4. Toronto has to take advantage on Sunday in game 2 at home. They have to win that game 2. I said it yesterday on the show. I feel like they need to win these first 2 games at home to even have a chance in the series. What do you think?
Have a chance.
To have a chance. I think they have to win the first 2.
If they go up 2, because see, remember now it's not the 2-3-2.
Yeah.
It's back to 2-2-1-1-1. So, I would say if they win, if they lost game 2, it's still a series. Until they win or lose in Golden State. That being said, had it have been the old format, yeah, they had to win. Because then you don't want to have to play 3 straight games in Oakland and have to win 1. Have to win 1. If you allow them to win 3, now you still have home court, but where's the momentum? Yeah. So I think Golden State's gonna win in 6. Did you see my guy talk about the that prop bet that basically
7
set plus 750
if they win game 1 and lose the series.
That's a good prop bet because
that's worth if I would have saw that, that's one of those that's worth throwing 100 on.
Because I definitely thought that they had a good shot game 1. Because I saw that they were 1.5 favorites and I was like, ooh, that's a tough call.
Listen, I look at these teams and I know Golden State's been here for a long time. They've been doing it, this is their 5th year in a row in the finals, correct?
Yes.
They've been doing it for a long time. When I look at these teams, though, Toronto has a really good, solid team.
Yeah.
And if Kevin Durant doesn't come back, and even if he comes back, we don't know what he's going to be.
Yeah.
Is he going to be like Kevin Durant's back now, we're scared, and it's more of a decoy situation? Because he doesn't want to get hurt again. If he has a strained calf, you don't
want to tear it.
Yeah, you don't want to tear it. You don't want to strain it again.
Yeah.
That's not good going into contract negotiations.
Andre Iguodala.
Same thing. Iguodala went out last night.
Yes, he did.
They said he should be fine, but listen, he has not been fine for 3 years. Every playoffs he gets hurt. He's hurt in the playoffs. He plays hurt in the playoffs.
Truthfully, since honestly since the first year when he was Finals MVP,
when he won the MVP.
That was probably the last year that I would say he was 100%. Where he looked good, felt good, but he was also 3 years younger.
Exactly.
He's at least he's my age now. He's like 34, 35.
Yeah.
So
with him going out like that, I mean and just this mindset, knowing that he gets hurt all the time, you're playing careful again.
Yeah.
And he didn't even do much last night, which he needed to do more.
Yeah.
We didn't see a lot of production from Golden State. They're not going to have that same game. So for Toronto to keep winning games in this series, they have to step up too and play a lot better.
Yeah.
Not saying they didn't play good last night, but now Golden State, they don't have 2 games in a row like we saw last night.
Siakam's not giving you 32 again.
No, he might.
Look at it.
He'll give you 20. He'll give you 22. But 32.
And look at it just from there. So if you say, all right, if we're gonna give Siakam 20 to 25, because I was saying, if he can give them 25, they remain a very viable threat.
Yeah.
But 32 that's now on star level. I don't know if he can keep that kind of production, especially if Draymond takes it upon himself to say you're not doing this.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? But just bring his points down. You bring his points back down to normal. You bring him down to 25. It's a 2-point game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just off of Siakam.
But then Kawhi only had 23, so you boost you give him 27, 28.
Yeah. So 30, I'd give him 30.
Lowry had 7. I mean, that's somebody we've talked about that needs to at least get double-digit points.
Yeah.
He has to at least get double-digit points. Obviously right here, Nick. What's up, bro? I like the shirt.
How you doing, man? Nice to meet you. We're just sitting here talking a little bit about the finals last night. Were you able to catch the finals?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll go ahead and introduce my boy, man. Met him through Mike Dixon, who's not here. He's supposed to be in that chair right there, but he's not here. But he didn't come in from out of town, man. You just got here from out of town.
Yeah. I just touched down, man. So I apologize for the target.
Oh, you're good. You're good, bro.
You're good. Where are you staying?
We're always late, anyways.
Yeah, I'm on the strip, so I ain't too far. Come on, man.
Come on, bro.
Oh man. Dang. All right. He does have on the red shirt. Got to back up off him a little bit.
Oh, this guy over here, huh? Yikes. Welcome to Vegas.
Welcome to Vegas.
Oh, man.
Nick Hamilton, man, introduce yourself. I know you're out there in LA doing a lot of media. I was watching some of the videos, some of the interviews you've done, man. So it's really, really cool stuff you've been doing out there. So, man, just give us a little history about yourself, how long you've been doing radio and media.
I've been doing this for about 10 years now, sports and pop culture. So I, cover events, games, red carpets, film premieres, all of that. So just been very fortunate to be in the game and just, doing TV spots, radio spots in LA and then across the country as well. So it's just been cool, man. It's been a really cool journey, man.
Awesome, man. What got you into wanting to do media?
Honestly, man, growing up, obviously you debate with your friends about different teams, and you're a fan, and you're young and full of energy, and just love doing it. But then you didn't know how to get into it. You know what I mean? So I was, as they say in the basketball terms, I was a journeyman trying to figure out my way and my path. And
did you play? You played ball?
In high school, I played a little baseball. Growing up, junior high and first year of high school, I played hockey.
Okay,
so,
nice, man.
I just want to be different, man. I mean, a lot of people from our community, stick to the same script. Like if you play basketball, you play football. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do
baseball
something different.
Sometimes.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. You know what I mean? So I wanted to do something different. So I was in the league at the Culver City Ice Rink, formerly known as the Culver City Ice Rink. But so I just been able to be around, different kids and coming from different communities and being able to be more diverse.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that now being older. Back then it was kind of like, okay.
It's tough.
It
is tough doing your own thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
but I'd be going down the street and kids be watching. I'm practicing, and on rollerblades or whatever. And I always tried to be my own individual, and that's what I try to do in this media game is just learning how to be yourself and finding your own character. Because we all are characters. You know what I mean? And being able to disseminate whatever message that you want to the masses as far as how you want to be portrayed. What your point of views are, whether they like them, dislike them, as long as they pay attention to them, that's all I care about.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
good.
Here I am in the 702.
There you
good,
go,
man.
There you go.
That's good. And we're happy to have you here,
Hey,
man.
man, thank
So you've been in LA your whole life?
Yeah,
LA area?
I'm born and raised in LA, man, West Coast. So
what's up?
It's been. I mean, I've been fortunate to travel across the country. Been out of the country a couple of times.
Yeah.
So it's been good, man.
Yeah, I'm a LA sports fan. They give me some beef about it sometimes, but I'm born and raised in Vegas, so everything we saw, all the sports that were shown on TV was Lakers, Dodgers, all that.
Oakland A's.
Oakland A's. Hey, listen, I was an A's fan growing up.
Hey, but you know what? Vegas is turning into a sports metropolis. I mean, you look at the success of the Vegas Golden Knights. You look at what the Las Vegas Aces and now what Vegas is saying about the chances of the Aces actually winning a WNBA championship, which are really good. You got Liz Cambage, her return and being traded to this team. Asia Wilson
for a bag of chips,
for nothing,
or a bag of Doritos and some Funyuns.
I couldn't believe that trade. I was like, okay,
hey man, that works. What does that remind you of? Does it remind you of the Pau Gasol for Kwame Brown type of trade?
Oh no, yeah,
hey, definitely.
That one. Hey, but look,
it worked out for him because of Marc Gasol.
I was about to say Mark ended up being bigger than we thought.
Yeah,
but that definitely was supposedly a straight up deal. Like, yeah, you're getting Kwame and we're gonna get Powell back.
Don't forget Aaron McKee.
Oh, thank God, Aaron McKee was gone.
Oh, that was horrible.
I mean, and then you guys get the Raiders here too. I mean,
that's right.
And so I do coverage for the Raiders for SB Nation.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be cool just to see the transformation from Oakland. I call them the Oakland/Vegas Raiders. So
yeah, we call them
the Oakland Raiders of Las Vegas.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So we got one more year to call them that we could call them our own. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about that, man. So it's definitely outsider looking in. How do you guys see Vegas as a sports place? Is it because it used to be a joke even talking about sports when the Knights were even talked about coming out here? We were, the locals like that's not going to work. Hockey's not going to work out here. I wanted football first because I thought hockey would damage the ability for us to get sports out here.
I mean,
but it actually helped. Yeah, helped it.
I mean, that's understandable, but when you look at the success with the LA Kings when they would come out here and do their tournaments and, preseason,
yes.
When they would come out here and pretty much build a bridge for hockey.
Yeah.
You got to credit the LA Kings. I know a lot of people in Vegas don't like the Kings now because of the
they turned into rivals.
Yeah, exactly.
It went
because
from
of the
my
playoffs.
favorite team to my least favorite team.
Yeah, they booted the Kings out, but it's all good. They'll be back. But
took their colors and everything. Look at that. See how that works?
Almost.
You got some
But
gold
I mean,
in there.
hey, look, man, the Vegas Golden Knights logo is fly as hell. Like I have a hat myself. I was like, look, man.
Do you like their jerseys?
Oh yeah, I mean, I wish they would go all black. I think
They're actually coming out with a third jersey for next season.
Is it gonna be gold?
We're hoping it's all black. I
gold.
want it to be
all
black.
black would be sick.
I want it to be black with the star
think
logo.
about it.
With
you
the alternative
you
logo.
got the Raiders with black. You have the Aces with the black. Why not have all black with the Golden Knights? And then two,
The Aces jerseys are clean.
Let's
Their
not-
colors are clean.
yeah, and let's not forget the NBA could possibly be in Vegas, the next, several years as well if
Yeah.
all goes well. So I mean, it's a growing. That's what I'm saying. It's a growing metropolis. I mean, I would love to see, the NBA move into Vegas. I don't think Vegas gets a baseball team. I just don't think baseball teams do well in desert areas or non metropolis type of areas. So I don't think that baseball would do well in Vegas. It's struggling in Phoenix. You see how well it's struggling in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They're testing it out right now. We got a new baseball stadium for the AAA
I
team.
saw that. Yeah.
And it's actually been selling out every game.
Selling out
pretty
every
much.
game. I mean,
but we'll see. I mean, a full on season. So they're testing it out, I think, with the Aviators. They're the A's affiliate, which the A's have been the rumor. They were doing good last year. They couldn't even get half their building full.
I mean, it's the
people
same.
don't go. Well, the Coliseum's a dump. That's the main reason.
Man, it is a trash bin. Let me tell you.
And so that's the rumor, like tearing down the Rio, building a baseball stadium there.
That has been spoken of a few times.
I mean,
crazy.
it could be nice, but I just don't see. I mean, when I look at what Chase Field is going through right now, with they're having trouble even trying to. They're having trouble giving tickets away.
Yeah.
And I look at Tampa Bay at the Trop. I mean, to me, just move the Rays back to Montreal. Let's get the Expos back, and then everything will be cool. We don't have to worry about anything.
Well, we'll see. But the Rays, their stadium is so bad too. We joked about it the last time I was in here. Like how basically like if you hit points on the roof, it's a home run or a double. You know what I mean? Like if you hit right here, that's a double.
Man.
And it's like what? You know what I mean? So like I don't think the Rays have as much of a fan problem as much as they have just a stadium and a relationship with their fan problem. I think if they did build, because they've talked about building a new stadium there for many years, I think if they did, that would help them. I think that would help them a little bit.
I don't know, because when you leave, even when you go to Miami, I mean, they're struggling. That's a beautiful stadium, but
Marlins Park is glorious.
They're three-time MLB champions.
Yes,
like they've won 3 championships since they've been down there. I mean, they were the Florida Marlins, and now they tried it with the Miami Marlins, and now you're trying to get Derek Jeter to be a part of the ownership group, and it's still not working. It's amazing how Florida is great for spring training teams and farm teams, but it sucks when it comes to Major League Baseball.
Well, and they put the Marlins Park in the middle of Little Havana. That was the other thing. They thought that was going to bring in a lot of the Latin crowd. At that point they had Giancarlo down there. I think the main thing that the Marlins have done when you speak about their titles is every time they won a title, they would trade away half their assets.
Yeah.
Or they'd let half their assets walk. So every time that the fans would get engaged with a team, they would kill that team. And then they would build the farm system back up, and then they win again in about 4 years. So, that one is a tough one. That one is harder to understand.
And this is why I say I don't think it does well in desert communities or non-affluent communities.
I think the benefit Vegas has, especially baseball being a summer game, is the fact that they would build a stadium on the Strip, close to the Strip, kind of how they're doing Raider Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get the tourist attraction. And I think that's what's helped out with Golden Knights. Sometimes we have 60-40 on the fan base at Knights games, because you get the tourists coming in. Like, we can go watch our team and do Vegas at the same time. So I think that's been the benefit of the Knights, and that's going to be the benefit of the Raiders too. There is a big fan base, Raiders out here already, but then you're going to get, when they're playing the Broncos, everyone from Denver is going to come out here and
people
travel
from
for
LA,
that whole weekend.
LA will be here all the time.
When they play the Chargers, because I cover the Chargers too. They it's an excuse for LA people to get away.
That's right.
Right. So when you look at I know it's probably going to be packed out when they have a Monday night football game because people are going to come on Sunday when it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And then they're going to leave on Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
When they can get on out of here for the low 99. So I mean, I think
we might see those prices change though during Monday night football games.
You just might, depending on how close you are to the stadium too.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you look at what the Raiders have accumulated as far as fan base, the Raiders could go anywhere. I've said this numerous times. The Raiders can play in Timbuktu and people would show up every weekend because it's the Raiders, it's the fan base, it's the brand, it's what Al Davis had built early on, and now what they're doing moving here. And when it was almost a forest to think that a team would come to Las Vegas, worrying about gambling, worrying about decisions coming out not on the right end of the stick. And now you have people in bed with gambling companies.
Yeah, directly.
You're right, openly. Like,
it's open now,
okay, all right, well, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
MGM is hooked up with the NBA now, and
I mean, it's blatant.
Legit.
So when you look at, and then also too, I think the MLS would do better here than MLB. Because MLS is a growing league.
Yeah.
And I know there are a lot of soccer purists that don't like the MLS, and I get it. I mean, some people don't care for the MLS for whatever reason, but it continues to grow for some strange reason. I mean, you look at Atlanta, they had over 70,000 people
at one game
for MLS Cup.
That's right.
I mean, and consistently like 60,000 here.
Yeah, they are.
In the Mercedes-Benz Dome, and Mercedes-Benz Stadium, excuse me. And that's not an easy sell.
Yeah.
So I didn't think soccer would do well in Atlanta.
Yeah. That was a little bit more of a surprise. I was surprised by that one too.
Who would have thought? So I think Las Vegas is putting their bid in to try to get an MLS team, and they're trying to build off the strip
the light. So we have the Las Vegas Light, and so basically I forget what league they're a part of right now.
It's
the UFL or USFL. Something like that. Yeah, something to that effect. But basically,
it's right below the MLS.
They're basically have to continue to put themselves in position to be accepted by the MLS. Once that happens, they're they're renovating so where the 51s who are now the Aviators and got the new stadium in Summerlin. The Light they play at Cashman Field, so they're going to be renovating it for that.
Yeah, because I heard they were trying. Was it like 25,000 seats? They're trying to turn it into or something to that degree. Because I thought they were going to play in the Raiders Stadium. I mean, it just made more sense. But if you want your own, get your own.
Yeah. And going back to the Raiders, they're still LA. That's LA's team still.
Yeah, I mean,
it's even closer now coming to Vegas than it was going to Oakland.
Yeah, LA is. I mean, they're slowly accepting the Rams because of what they went through last year, but it's going to take time. There's a whole generation that doesn't know the Rams.
Yeah,
but
are the Chargers going to last?
I think they will. LA is a town that you have to win.
Yeah,
I mean, fans are fickle, right? So you have to win, and I think that their little run last year going up against the Patriots, and then it ended obviously not the way they wanted to. But I think if they continue on, I mean, the Chargers are stacked on both sides of the ball. Defense, offense, special teams.
Yeah.
They're stacked. Do I believe the Raiders have a better wide receiver core? Yes. Do I think that the Chargers wide receiver core can compete? Absolutely. But I look at the overall team, and it comes down to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I look at Phillip Rivers. I look at Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr, but this is a make or break season for Derek Carr.
Yeah,
will he come over to the 702 or will he be left at the airport? That's the question.
It's 50-50 right now.
You're right.
Phillip Rivers, you know what you get with Phillip Rivers. Yeah. He's been battle tested. He's been
a lot of kids.
And that's what I said. Battle tested and proven. But on the field too, he's been a little tested too on the field. But to be able to be a consistent quarterback like he's been, and he's actually gotten better.
Yeah.
But you have to look at the weapons that they surround him with, and that's what I'm wondering about the Raiders. Are there too many personalities on the Raiders that are going to impede their progress on the field? I mean, you look at Antonio Brown, which I think is the best wide receiver in the game today. I like Tyrell Williams. I got a chance to watch him the last few years playing with the Chargers, so I know what to expect from him. I question the running game because Doug Martin is old, but I do like Josh Jacobs. Watching him come out of Alabama, Roll Tide.
And they had somebody get hurt already, running back.
They did.
Dude from the Jets, right?
Yeah, he's out. Well, he's out for the year because he had tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Which is going now puts a little bit more pressure on Josh Jacobs to pick up the playbook. But Gruden was smart not to load his plate too soon. He's bringing him along slowly because, mind you, Josh Jacobs was not a number 1 or a number 2 back at Alabama.
Yeah.
He was still productive because they were so loaded at running back. So you don't do you do the same thing that he learned at Alabama under Nick Saban on a pro-style offense.
That's right.
You do the same thing if you want him to be successful in the pros. So Gruden was smart with that as far as not loading his plate. Then you look at the defensive side of the ball. I love LaMarcus Joyner. Got a chance when I covered the Rams. Got a chance to watch LaMarcus Joyner. So I think he's going to be thoroughly impressive in that secondary. But then I have to look at the rest of the defense. And listen.
Starts to be a ghost town.
Yeah. And then I look at, you overpay for Trent Brown. You have Vontaze Burfict on defense, who's a personality all its own.
Who's Vontaze Burfict? You can just leave it right there.
And Raiders are a personality in their own,
That's true.
And then you have, you sign Richie Incognito.
Yeah.
For the left guard spot.
I hate that. I hate that signing.
Listen, I'm not a fan of the signing, but I understand it from a football perspective.
Yeah.
I don't condone anything. Let me be abundantly clear when I say this. I don't condone not a damn thing that Richie Incognito has done,
or
what he's been a part of, what he said, how he's influenced in a negative way. I don't condone any of that. But from a football perspective, if he can be productive at that left guard spot, which they have a hole to fill, and they can keep Derek Carr upright or get the ball off to his weapons.
He's very dangerous.
Which is important.
This is a make or break year for him because they only signed him for a year.
That's right.
And he missed all last year, right? Didn't he?
He retired.
Yeah.
So
he wasn't even playing last year.
I mean, and remember, Richie Incognito's been old since the Doug Martin situation in Miami.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like he was 35 then.
Right.
Like that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Man. But I mean, like I said, this is this is a perfect thing for Hard Knocks. I don't think they should do Hard Knocks this year. I think the Raiders should do it next year. I think it'd be beneficial for the Raiders. I think it'd be beneficial for the league too.
With the new stadium, that would be a benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think. Well, you know what? I feel both ways on that. If they do it this year and it's their last year in Oakland, that gives them their kind of like a second kind of give back to the fans. But if you wait a year and then now you're going into a new stadium with it, that gives a little bit more hype behind the new stadium.
I think that's why Mark Davis doesn't want to do it this year because he wants to do it going into the new stadium.
One of the Grudens are going to get it. It's either my team or your team. So.
Oh, that Washington team?
Yeah.
He says the full name.
Oh, yeah, I refuse to say that now.
You don't say Redskins either?
No, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to Native Americans.
We try to tell him,
man.
He won't listen to us.
I understand. Listen.
Just like Cleveland Indians logo is disrespectful.
No, they took it away. That was obligatory.
But the Washington name is not disrespectful?
See
really?
Listen.
Please explain this one to me.
I understand.
I got a pen and pad ready.
No. Listen. I understand, and I honestly do feel that if it offends, that they should change it. But there still isn't like, all right. I feel, and I've said this on the show, the main reason that I feel the way I feel is simply because Dan Snyder never got ahead of the problem. He got behind the problem, and then everything that you do now looks like you're basically trying to get back ahead of it. It's too late. If he would have done something, if he either would have changed the name or like literally would have gone to the Native American community and asked questions. No, because the reason I say it like that is because I've actually met natives and a lot of them don't care. Like a lot of them don't care, and a lot of them don't care, and a lot of them actually like they don't have any feeling toward it at all. But the ones that do tend to have a little bit more money and a little bit more influence, and then it became a public problem. And once it became a public problem, you're behind. And then once the media jumped on it, then it was like, well, now you can't say anything or do anything. So if you would have been a little bit more, proactive, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But now it's a big deal, and you can't get back in front of it.
I'll say like this: Daniel Snyder had no intentions of getting in front of it from day one.
Exactly.
He was arrogant. He doesn't care.
And thought it was fine.
He feels superior.
No, you're right.
And he doesn't care. Now, again, you remember when my man Bomani Jones wore that shirt, the Caucasian?
Yeah.
And everybody got in the uproar.
Yeah.
But
Same exact thing.
But where was the uproar for the Washington franchise? Where was the uproar for Chief Wahoo?
Yeah.
And the Cleveland Indians?
Yeah.
So you can't have it both ways.
No, you can't.
You can't even, I don't care if it's 2% that are offended. It's still offensive.
Yeah.
The name, if you go research the history of the name, it's offensive.
No, trust me.
And
look, as a Redskin fan, we actually like I had to learn about the name at like 8, and this is back in the 90s. You know what I mean? Back like this, like when I was like, oh, what does Redskins really mean? And Cowboy fans, because Cowboy fans are in DC too, so they're like, oh yeah, your team's name is racist, and this is back in like 93, 94. Like, and I was like, what do you mean my team's name is racist? And like, as a kid, you don't understand, so you actually do start researching. I learned about that way back when. You know what I mean? So it's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. I don't.
But the fact that you making it, man, you caping up for it, it's amazing to me. But hey, you know what? Do you, man?
Not because. All right, look. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things.
Cool.
Do you think we'll ever peer pressure you enough to stop saying it?
No.
All right, no.
That works.
I'm gonna take him on some on a land. I'm gonna take him on the land and let him talk to the Nate.
Because I have talked to my little selection of natives that I've met.
So I can go the same way, right? Like growing up in hip hop, doing music, I could repeat the N-word during some songs back in the 90s, early 2000s, right? My friends didn't care back then.
Yeah, if you
they didn't, but now that's a select few people that were my friends. I don't say it anymore. I don't repeat it in songs anymore because I grew up and I know I know what it does now. You know what I'm saying? I know the effect of it because when you're kids, I don't even think like growing up in the hip hop culture, a lot of my black friends even really knew the power of that word that their parents and grandparents.
We still don't understand the power of that word. I mean, we still don't. And if a person who was white used that word in front of me, regardless for whatever reason, they're getting popped in their mouth straight up. Ain't no questions asked. I'm not going to explain anything.
And so that's the thing. If you have people like that,
having a conversation. We'll have a conversation after the fact.
We don't have it's nothing to talk about.
No conversation.
No, it's nothing to talk about. You already know better. If you did know better, you know now. Let me tell you something. There was a kid when I was 8 years old. The first time I got called that name, and it was like it wasn't even like on no hip hop level. It was on the
it was like straight at you.
Busted his nose wide open. To this day, I bet you.
That was second grade for me too. It happened to me in second grade.
I was at basketball camp in Malibu.
No, I was just in the classroom, and he was my friend, and he was confused.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Because Snoop Dogg said it.
Yeah,
I was like, no.
But he didn't call you that. Like,
no,
it sounds like
that was on basketball court.
That was on. Something.
This was actually my friend.
But even still, I can't. I mean, I don't even use the word as a black man in this country. I don't even use the word because I felt and growing up, I used to use it because I was ignorant. But then when you come into a level of consciousness, you realize what the word means. And I had a conversation like this in a barbershop, and I was debating my point. And when you go to the barbershop, it's 15 different opinions.
You got it.
15 different views.
Stand your ground.
And you got to go at it like attack dogs, right? And so. I had one argument. I said, okay, how many of y'all believe in God or believe in some higher power? Most people raise their hand. I said, okay. So you tell me in the Bible, the Quran, the Book of Confucius, whatever you believe in, name me one time God called us that name. I'll wait. Nobody said a word.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we not that.
Yep.
Period. Yep. And that's how I leave it at that. And that's how I left it. So that's why I don't personally use it.
And mic drop. Hurry up with my lineup.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I mean, they tried to argue it, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can argue, but
what I said stands.
Go find it, and I'll stand corrected. Go find it in any book. Go find it
at all ever. Yeah,
go find it because if trust me, the way that racism has been going on for centuries.
Yeah.
Don't think they wouldn't have snuck it up in there. Don't think it wouldn't have happened.
True story.
If they really wanted to do. Come on, man.
Story.
Stop.
I can give you that.
And that's why I'm saying, like, it doesn't matter if there's some people that accept something. If it's offensive, it's offensive. No matter if some people accept it and say, oh, it's not that big of a deal. If there's enough people that, first of all, it's an offensive word. So just because there might be people that are Native American that accept it as not being offensive, doesn't change the meaning of it. Doesn't mean it's not offensive.
No, and I can't. I have no rebuttal for that.
Yeah.
I have no rebuttal for that.
You going to Oakland with that jersey on?
Huh?
You going to Oakland with that jersey on?
This is my brother, so.
Okay. You gonna put it? Dang, you just threw your brother right under the bus.
Yeah,
huh?
Not under the bus. He's on my back. That's my name on my back.
Okay.
That's all right. But yeah, no, I would. but I also like look. I got a Rick Barry on call too.
Did you see the Kawhi statue in the Bay?
No.
It said the King of the North is coming.
Oh,
New
the
Balance
statue. Oh,
I mean,
no, the billboard.
The billboard.
I was like, they put him on statue
They built
too?
a statue.
No,
It's over.
I was like, oh, my
I mean,
God.
some people feel like it's a statue the way it's just glaring at in the Bay Area. I was like, that's risky. See, I forgot it's the Bay.
It's the Bay, yeah.
Bay Area is. I have cousins that live up there. It's a different kind of folks up there, man. They real, some real folks up there.
They're real loyal too.
They die hard. Hey, man, it's either Raiders or Niners. It's Warriors all day.
Yeah. How do you feel about them moving to San Fran?
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, it's first of all, you move to a different market.
Yeah.
Everybody's moving out of Oakland, but it's ironic because Oakland is actually going to be a business metropolis as soon as they move everybody out. That's the ironic part about it.
Okay.
Gentrification is definitely taking over. Even talking to some of my cousins, even friends of mine that have grown up there or been there, gentrification is absolutely taking over.
Okay. It's turning into Brooklyn.
Moving the Warriors to San Francisco puts them in a larger market, obviously, but then also too, you have that you're still in the Bay Area, so you're still connected to Silicon Valley and those areas as well. But it's just the name San Francisco. Yeah. You know, because Oakland is unfortunately gotten such a negative connotation at times. But Oakland is a beautiful city, man.
No,
I mean,
it is.
Like I said, I've gone up there. There's certain areas I won't go to, and my cousins have instructed me not to go to because I'm not from there. So I listen. There's like certain parts of L.A. I don't go to unless I absolutely have to. It's just how it is. But I think moving the Warriors to San Francisco, I think is a good thing. I think it builds up the city a little bit more. They definitely still have to find a solution to their homeless problem because they're people, man. They're human beings. You can't just sweep them under the rug or act like they don't exist. You know, so you have to find.
So many places do already.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the sad part. Yeah. I mean, LA's the same way. Yep. I mean,
they'll just getting like that out here too.
They'll keep moving forward, keep moving north to Portland because Portland, boy, it is crazy homelessness in Portland. Yeah. But Portland takes care of them.
Right.
They do a really good job taking care of them, but they are getting overrun at the same time. I think that Chase Center, though, in San Francisco, I'm very interested to see how that traffic situation is going to be. Because being right up against the, especially like during baseball season too. Oh, God.
Yeah, I forgot about
that. That's
going
to be a tragic
what's
situation.
What's the call now? What's the state? What's
the Chase Center.
No, but I mean the Giants.
I don't even know.
They change it every 4 years.
They change it every 5 seconds.
It's like a damn election. Every 4 years we get
keep
somebody
it
new.
AT&T. We'd have been fine.
I can't remember. I knew what it was because Oakland, the Raiders were talking about playing there.
Yeah, it's some like Silicon Valley company that is a sponsor of it now.
Yeah. So. Look it up, Quan. I can't come off the watch party.
But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. But I look forward to it, man. I think it's gonna be great. I like you were talking about earlier, what's gonna happen when the Warriors move over there? You're still gonna have the same people. You're still gonna have Steph Curry. They're gonna pay for Klay Thompson.
Well, no, I mean in terms of the fans, like because with the Raiders leaving Oakland and then now with the Warriors
you're gonna get what the Lakers get as fans in that inner circle. You're gonna get like the stars. You're not gonna have. I don't think you're gonna have the same type of fans that you had in Oakland that you're gonna have in that inner bowl like you're gonna have in San Francisco. I think it's gonna be an influx of Silicon Valley people, business people, and then you're gonna get like the 200 and 300 sections. You're gonna get those kind of people that you got in Oakland. That's what I mean. I could be wrong, but that's just the way it's panning out because that's who they're catering to.
How far is it from where they're playing right now?
Not far. It's like 25. But see, it's the traffic. It's the it's the traffic.
Bridge.
It's the traffic. Because so I'll put it to you like this: the BART train from that stadium to where they're going. Like what, 15, 20?
Probably.
The BART train not bad. Now driving across that bridge, that's a bit different. Yeah, that's why I was like, I want to see how the traffic coming up out of there is gonna look, because they're right up against the water.
Right.
And so I haven't looked at the stadium in terms of where their exit points are, but it ain't looking good.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
Nah, not at all.
Let's jump back into the NBA Finals. I know we were talking about that when you walked in.
Sure.
What do you think about this series, man? Toronto wins game 1 at home. I feel like they need to win game 2 to even have a chance in the series. We don't know when Kevin Durant is coming back. We're hearing maybe game 3 or 4 is when they're trying, but he's not even practicing yet. what do you think about this series, and what did last night's game do for Toronto? I don't think it did a whole lot, for Golden State. They've been doing this for a long time, but what do you think about it?
It was exactly what I expected. I mean, Golden State was off for 10, 11 days. They were rusty. They were flat. Nobody gave Steph Curry any kind of help. They were getting blown in backdoor pick and rolls, even with Boogie out there. And you saw Boogie was getting gassed because he hadn't been playing for almost 2 months. Mm-hmm. I think it did a great deal for Toronto just to boost the morale. I think it did a great deal for TV ratings. To everybody's talking about a quote-unquote upset. I figured the Raptors would win game 1. They didn't have to travel. They only had a few days off. They were still in rhythm. Kawhi Leonard was still on fire.
They didn't have any injuries either that they had to rest.
And also, too, you got to remember, everybody else on the Raptors gave Kawhi Leonard help. It wasn't just the Kawhi Leonard show. Yeah. It was the Raptors. It was the baby dinosaurs that came up.
Siakam had 32. Marc Gasol had 20.
Right.
Green was hitting threes, which he hasn't been doing great.
That one three, my goodness, that daggone double clutch. I was like,
that thing came from Ottawa.
When he hit that one, I was like, I don't think they're gonna come back.
I mean, but I figured they would beat. My prediction originally was I thought the Raptors would beat them by 8. They ended up beating them by 9, but I figured it was going to be 8 because you look at the Warriors going to keep it close, right? Yeah. You knew they weren't going to get blown out. It wasn't going to be a 20, 25-point lead. These were still the Warriors. Steph Curry was still on fire. But I do believe that Kevin Durant will come back by game 3 or game 4. I do believe that's a real possibility. I don't think the Warriors will put that out there like that because then now all of a sudden you look like you just trolling. You look like an idiot. And I think Steve Kerr is much smarter than that. Nobody thought Boogie would come back this soon. And he said he was active. We didn't know how many minutes Boogie was going to have. We knew he's going to probably be on a minutes restriction because of the nature of his return.
Just because,
we talked about it earlier. It was 8 minutes.
Okay, it was
he got
just
yesterday.
8.
So
okay.
So I figured it wasn't going to be that much. You're probably going to get Boogie probably 12 minutes next game.
Yeah.
Try to increase his and see where he is, especially down in the stretch in the fourth quarter if it gets tight.
But he looked super slow last night.
Yeah, he's out of rhythm. I mean, he hasn't played in almost 2 months. So you expect that, especially for a big man. A big man coming off an injury like that, it takes a little bit longer than what a Kevin Durant could come off with.
But with the fact that that's what happened, do you think they should even be trying to play him and get him in the rotation? Because I don't think it's going to do anything good for them.
I think you have to from a height standpoint because you have to have somebody, a big in there at some point to try to, even when it comes to offensively, maybe not so much defensively, but offensively, when you have a guy like Marc Gasol out there.
Just another option.
You have a body out there until Kevin Durant comes back. Now, when Kevin Durant comes back, I don't think you see Boogie as much. I think you may see an 8 to 10 minute stretch for Boogie coming back because you need bodies coming off with that second, especially with that second unit with
Toronto.
With Toronto out there, and then you have Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala, guys like that coming in that second unit. You're gonna need a Boogie Cousins to kind of keep the pace, especially if you have a lead with your starters.
Yeah.
But I think Kevin Durant is gonna he's gonna participate in individual drills. I think that's what Steve Kerr was looking at. For him to see where he is. Yeah. And I think they're going to put Durant on the minutes restriction. It may not be the minutes restriction we think it's going to be or should be, but I think he's going to be on some sort of minutes restriction, especially in that first game. And we can expect, KD to be rusty that first game. He has to find his rhythm, but it doesn't take long for KD to find his rhythm. That's the thing.
I think by the second game back, he's not going to have a minutes restriction at all.
I think they split.
It'll be the first game, and then he'll be, if he's feeling good.
Yeah,
he's feeling right. He's going to be like, no, I'm fine. I'm playing my regular minutes, and I'm going to win this game.
I think they split. In Toronto, and they move on to. I think it's going to be a 6-game series. I picked the Dubs in 6.
My man.
I picked them in 6.
I
love Kawhi Leonard. I think he's the best two-way player in the game.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry has actually showed up. He was no longer part of the Milk Carton All-Stars.
Not the Milk Carton All-Stars.
So I think when you look at what he's producing because of Kawhi and the energy that Kawhi has set in that locker room, you can't just say, oh, it's going to be a gentleman's sweep or nothing. No, that's ridiculous.
No.
That's totally disrespectful.
A lot of people say that.
No, I knew it was going to be 6. I don't think it's going to go 7. But but again, it comes down to this next game. Now, if they
think Raptors get game 2.
Yeah, see, if they get what you're saying,
I feel like they get game
then
2.
Now 7 is in play. Just because now you're asking Golden State to win 4 straight. And that's a lot of switching momentum.
It's quite possible for Golden State to win 4 straight because of the experience.
If
Kevin Durant does come back in game 3, I think you have a great opportunity to win 4 straight, even if they go down 0-2, because it's still not over. I think, look, it's a great story for the Raptors. It's a great story to say, hey, these guys came in here, beat up the world champs, made them look gassed, made them look old. Klay Thompson was ineffective.
Yeah.
You know, Draymond was ineffective, getting beat. It's a great story. But don't think for a second you think Golden State's going to come out the same way in Game 2 that they came out in Game 1.
I was
fooling yourself.
Listen, I'm still waiting on their third quarter run, because that third quarter came and I was like, well, this is where they're going to take over. And
they clipped it to about, what, 8? At that one point. They got no closer than 8, I believe.
Yeah, I think they got it to 6.
No, they
got it to 6.
In the fourth quarter, they were getting it down to like 5 and stuff like that,
6,
I believe.
Yeah.
But the third is usually where they separate themselves. When the third, I thought that they would, because they were down by 10 at half. And so I was like, okay, if they win this third by 15 and they go up by 5, I think that'll be enough to win the game.
And I think that's what you'll see in the next game. I think you'll see more anticipation. I think you'll see sharper cutting. I think they'll go back to the style that they played during the playoffs before the finals. They had sharper cuts. Yep. The fluidity of the ball was immaculate.
Those scissor cuts off of the Draymond Green screens are dangerous.
Right. The ball movement was phenomenal.
Yeah.
They were crisp. They were sharp. They controlled the tempo. That's why they were successful beating the Portland Trail Blazers. They were successful beating the Houston Rockets even without Kevin Durant, because they switched the tempo. They maintained the tempo, and that's what I think the biggest mistake that the Warriors didn't have, was that they didn't control the tempo from the opening tip. They allowed Toronto to control the tempo, slow it down. Let's play half-court sets at times. Let's play man-to-man defense, things of that nature, and that's not Golden State's way. Golden State likes to control the tempo. They like to run.
No, that's
You get them out there, and they like to run up and down the floor. Offensively, then they get back on defense. They struggled on transition defense the other night.
You weren't seeing those quick, fast break three-pointers at all last night. And we talked about it at the beginning of the show. Warriors are not going to have another game like this.
No.
So even if Toronto is going to win, they even have to step up a lot more and do more than they did to win this game, to win any more games in this series, because
Kyle
Golden
Lowry,
State will not play like that. They do need more out of Lowry. He had 7 points.
Exactly.
9 assists, 6 rebounds. If he's only scoring 7 points, you better be getting 12 assists.
Well,
but you need more points from Lowry.
No, you have to.
You do, but his impact on the floor last night to me was the difference maker. It wasn't the old Kyle Lowry that would score like that. And
it wasn't 7 points and he disappeared from everything else.
All-star.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
He was actually, even though it may not have showed up on the stat sheet, but his impact defensively, and him having, utilizing his court vision to say, hey man, go over here, run, watch. He's kind of being like an air traffic controller.
Yeah.
Hey, watch, letting guys know where to go, where to be, what spots.
Yeah.
And the spacing. That was key for
huge.
Toronto's spacing.
Yeah.
Their spacing, Nick Nurse, I think he made sure he learned a lot from that Milwaukee Bucks series about spacing and knowing how to do it effectively where it's going to be beneficial to you and get you out in front of your opponent. And I think that's what they're going to continue to do that. But I think Klay Thompson's going to go off. If you get Klay to go off, it's a wrap. Because when Klay goes off, my God.
Pascal Siakam, amazing game last night. Can he even maintain anything close to that for the remainder of the series, especially Game 2?
No, but he'll come close. I think he can come close. But it's hard to – you think about this. You're amped, a lot of emotions in the building, energy from the crowd, outside the building, inside the building. First ever NBA Finals, nationally televised. The whole country of Canada was watching. It's a lot. So, yeah, he was amped. He fed into it. He fed off the energy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he won't feed off the energy again, but it's going to be hard to duplicate that, especially on the road, because now you're going back to the Bay Area, and Oakland is loud.
Yeah.
And when those Warrior fans get active, they feed off their energy too. The Warriors feed off their fans' energy too.
And Toronto did a better job in the Eastern Conference Finals as far as their role players playing better on the road. But before that, they disappeared on the road. In that Philly series, it was ridiculous how they faded away on the road.
Just the difference.
And Kawhi had to do so much to win that series for them. So I think they have to maintain that same level of play they did against Milwaukee on the road, and you have to have one of these guys really step up and be that player. And I hope it's Siakam, but at the same time, Draymond Green went from saying he's the best defensive player ever, guarding Siakam, and Siakam just lit him up. So what's Draymond going to do in game 2? Because now he has to.
We had our conversation about this earlier. Go ahead and give us your take on that.
One thing, he got to leave Drake alone because he's not going to win that battle. Drake makes the Raptors interesting. He makes them thoroughly entertaining. I love the fact that Drake is out there jawing and going back and forth with Draymond and messing with Steph Curry. Else. I love it because that's what the game needs. Yeah. That's what sets them apart. And I'm like, listen, I don't have a problem with Drake doing what he's doing. I love him jawing at Draymond and going back and forth. I love him going back and forth with Steph.
Just don't get anybody upset and they light your team up.
Let me tell you
That's
something.
the only key.
Spike Lee.
Again, Clay goes off.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And you become a target for every because that's what always would happen to Spike.
Yeah. I mean, and so I like the Raptors. I think they have a good team. I think they better enjoy it while they can. Win, lose, or draw. It's going to be completely different, I believe, next year. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you definitely think he's gone.
I think he's going to the Clippers.
Okay. So that's I won't tell you my sources, but that was basically where it came from, a very well-placed source.
The only thing I can see him doing, if they happen to win the championship, because he could do this too. He could sign on another one-year deal.
Sign in.
Opt out in 2020. But this would puts the Clippers behind the 8 ball because you have the Miami Heat who have cap room in 2020.
That is coming. Yeah.
So if you're the Clippers and you're Steve Ballmer, that's not a battle that you want to go up against, even though you can buy the Miami Heat 50 times over. But you don't want to do that because
Ballmer has a little bit of money, though.
Yeah, he's about worth
he got a little bit of money.
About 50, 60 billion. That's nothing to sneeze at.
That's crazy.
It's
my team now.
Yeah, I mean, but when you look at it, think about it. Florida has no state tax.
Yeah.
It's South Beach, for God's sakes. I mean, good Lord. You can't get any better than
It's never
South
cold
Beach.
there. It's been cold this year in L.A.
Yeah, but here's the problem, too, with L.A. The difference between L.A. and Toronto, 2 things. One, I look at the Raptors roster. I look at the Clippers roster. Which one has a better roster if you take Kawhi off of it? I'm looking at the Clippers. You got Lou Williams, 3-time Sixth Man of the Year, which he will be. Montrezl Harrell. You got a young kid in Shai Alexander, who I think is dynamite. If he continues to work hard, he's going to be a star in this league.
That's one.
You have a lot of different role players. You had Landry Shamet, who's a good, 2-guard.
Zubac.
If they keep Zubac, if they keep him, because he's going to cost money too. You want to leave it wide open.
Yeah.
If you have money for 2 max players in a mid-level exception, you want to keep as much money open as you can.
Yeah.
So if you happen to land a Kawhi,
I thought he had 1 more year on this contract. No,
this is it.
Okay.
I believe he's either unrestricted or restricted free agent.
Okay.
But I don't think, even if he's restricted, I don't think the Clippers match this deal. But if you get Kawhi, and let's say you don't get a Kevin Durant. Let's say Kevin Durant bolts for New York. You could have to go after a Kyrie Irving. You could go after, different guys. Maybe go after I can't believe
Jimmy Butler.
You got Kemba Walker out there.
Kemba Walker. Maybe you go after
out there.
Kemba Walker if he doesn't sign a supermax with Charlotte. You can go after Kemba Walker, which would be good for Shai because Shai can learn from a guy like Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
So you have a Kemba Walker, you can have a Kawhi Leonard along with those rest of those players. That makes you a top four team in the West.
KD.
And if they get KD there.
If they get KD. Here's the thing with KD, though. Everything is contingent upon Anthony Davis. Everything's contingent upon Anthony Davis. And I say that because when he had that meeting with David Griffin, who he still can't break up with, which I don't understand, but I know why, because he's not that kind of dude, according to a lot of people.
You talking about David Griffin?
David Griffin.
Yeah.
Can't break up with David Griffin that easily. Like, to me, if you don't want to be there, thanks for the flipping pancakes. I'm out.
Yeah.
Pass the butter. Pass the syrup. Can you give me some more juice? Thanks. I'm out. Thanks for the breakfast, though. It was good.
Yeah.
I'll always remember you in my heart.
Yeah.
I'm out. Right? But the fact that you're still, you're teeter-tottering, he still wants to go. I don't see Anthony Davis in a Pelicans uniform by next season. I think he goes.
Yeah.
Here's the scenarios that David Griffin have, though. Does he go with the New York Knicks if they decide to hold on to their number 3 pick?
Which they need to hold on to that, not trade him
which
for
is
the 8 and 10.
idiotic. Again, the
8
Knicks
and
being the
10.
damn Knicks.
8
Why
and
would
10.
you trade a number 3 pick for the 8 and 10?
In a three-man draft.
This is why
The Knicks are the Knicks.
the Knicks are the Knicks. And this is why the NBA needs to step in, because this is a travesty. You're in the number 1 market. You are the big brother in the city. The Nets are the little brother.
And the Nets
Right?
have been
About to take
kicking
over.
you in the teeth.
And here's the problem. You have a chance to get Anthony Davis, possibly. And then that could lure Kevin Durant
Or Kyrie.
over to the Knicks.
Yep.
I think Kyrie goes to the Nets. I think he wants to play for his hometown team. I think he goes to the Nets, which ain't nothing to sneeze at either. But if you can get, maybe you can get a Kyrie at the Knicks. But I'm saying if he goes to the Nets, it's not a big surprise. But if you got a Kevin Durant, an Anthony Davis, let's say you go and lure a Kemba Walker. So now you got somebody to bring the ball up.
Yeah.
You have Kevin Durant. You got a guy that can shoot and play different positions.
You got Kevin Durant.
6'12" Kevin Durant who can shoot from 40.
6'12".
6'12".
7
And you
and
have
some
Anthony,
change.
and you have Anthony Davis who can shoot the 3 ball well as a big man and get an inside-outside game.
Yeah.
Has a presence. Biggest knock on him was his health. If he can stay healthy.
That boy get a concussion every year. Y'all better start keeping count of that.
But here's the
that
thing:
youngest
if you got
concussions.
those 3 guys, that's a playoff contending team right there. And New York is back.
That's a
championship
quiet
contending team.
championship
Yeah.
contending
So I
team.
think with Kevin Durant, nobody knows what Kevin Durant's going to do.
Yeah.
We can speculate all day long.
Yeah.
We don't know what Kevin Durant's going to do. I don't think he stays in Golden State. I agree with you what you were saying earlier. I don't think he stays in Golden State. I think he moves on.
Yep.
I think he wants to create his own legacy. I think he wants to do something that he wants to do. And if he goes to New York or if he decides to come to the Clippers, obviously people are saying the Clippers because of the relationship he has with Jerry West.
Yeah.
Jerry West was influential in guiding him to Golden State from OKC as a free agent. You look at the Silicon Valley investment.
How did the Lakers not get him when he wanted to go back to the Lakers? I don't get that.
No. The Lakers did not get him. The Lakers didn't want him.
No, that's what I'm saying.
The
He wanted to go
Lakers-
back. He wanted to go back
I know.
to the Lakers,
That's
and they said no.
stupidity.
What's
That's stupidity is what
What's
it is.
interesting is that
Hubris.
they keep circling the nest, but the person that you should have circled the nest with, you bypassed on.
Yep.
The most important, intricate piece,
Yep.
whom you should have, the epitome of hustling backwards.
Yep.
You circle around everybody else. You pick Luke Walton. You get Magic Johnson. You pick Rob Pelinka, who's connected to Kobe. You pick the Rambuses, who you've been friends with for years. You get everybody that there's no
Laker.
6 degrees of separation here.
Yeah.
This is brand like a mom and pop mini mart instead of running like a Costco.
Yeah.
You have to run this thing like a corporation. And I think Jeannie Buss is extremely brilliant. I think she will find a way to turn it around.
Definitely.
It's going to take longer than expected. But she has to get people. The first call I would have made was to 2 people. Either Masai Ujiri or the GM in OKC.
Or David Griffin before he
Or David Griffin,
before
right
he signed
with
to
New
the
Orleans.
Pelicans.
Exactly.
That made no
One of
sense
those
that he
3.
was out there available when Magic
Lurking.
quit. Magic quit, and then David Griffin is out there like saying,
And you know
I'm
LeBron
here.
was pushing for him. You know LeBron was pushing
had
for
to
him.
be, man. It doesn't make any sense.
And even if Magic would have stayed, I do believe, and this is just my opinion, I do believe because Magic is a smart business person. He realizes his mistakes, and he says, you know what? I messed up.
Yeah.
Let me get somebody. I think he would have hired a Masai Ujiri or a David Griffin and say, look, I'm going to be the face. I'm going to be in there when it comes to recruiting. I'm going to give my ideas. You take this front office and you redo it the way you see fit. And that's what I think he would have been. I think he would have moved, even though he may have been the president of basketball operations, it would have been more of a consulting role. And David Griffin would have truly been the basketball operations and general manager of that franchise. Yeah. And I think you would have seen a massive difference. We would be talking about the Lakers possibly going after a Kyrie Irving and trying to get Anthony Davis
So
together.
do you think they don't get anybody now this summer?
I think there's 2 possibilities. I think you could get a Jimmy Butler.
Would not say that months ago.
I think you can get
and
Jimmy
I'm not mad
Butler.
at Jimmy, but I wouldn't be mad
He's not a max,
at getting
but
him.
I wouldn't pay him max money because he's not a max player.
No.
But he's a Philly guy too. Philly loves Jimmy Butler.
I think
People
he
I've
should
talked
stay
to
there.
in Philly.
He should stay there.
You know, a friend of mine who covers the Sixers for NBC. She's been at every game, and she's like, yo, Philly loves Jimmy Butler.
They do.
What's your friend's name?
She actually Crystal Rich. She's
Okay.
actually on NBC Sports Philly.
Okay.
Does a great job.
Because there's someone else out there that used to be in LA that does Philly games now.
Yeah, Serena Winters.
Yeah,
another good friend of mine. So happy for her as well. And I think that the landscape is just they love Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
But you can't pay Jimmy Butler. Now, if they offer him the max, so Jimmy's going to stay. But Jimmy loves L.A. He's got a new shoe deal.
So you think he only stays in Philly for the max?
Yeah. I mean, he has L.A., you have a new shoe deal. It's L.A., second largest market. You're with the Lakers.
Who's his new shoe deal? When did that happen?
I think he has the Nike.
He left Jordan Brand?
Well, that's the same thing. Jordan Brand, Nike, same thing.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, I didn't read that.
No. I mean, I don't mean new like he signed something. I'm saying like a new contract.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying is they can get a Jimmy Butler. It's a long shot. I think they're still going after Kyrie, but I think that's an extreme long shot. I think if they trade, they can get a Bradley Beal, which is nothing to sneeze at, because Bradley Beal is a very good number 2 behind LeBron.
Don't tell him that.
I mean, he is. It's a 20-point. This is a 20-point per game guy.
That's his boy.
I'm a Wizards fan too.
Yeah,
what are your teams?
And he doesn't want Lonzo.
I don't have a team.
You don't have any teams? Like in any sport?
I used to. I mean, I love watching. Again, I love watching Bama football. Okay. I love watching the Yankees. I love watching the Dodgers. I love watching the Kings. But I'm not a fan. Like if they lose, it's like, oh, okay, well, it sucks. But I mean, because when you're on this side of the business, it kind of desensitizes you from being a fan. Like it's like because you have to strive to try to be objective. Yeah. So being a fan takes away from your objectivity, right?
Oh, no, it does for sure.
So I was just like, and then when you see what goes on behind the scenes, it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, you start to not like all
right. Well, that's nice. Well, let me do my job now.
I'm telling you, man, I've been saying this. Lakers are trying to make me not a fan anymore with everything they're doing. And the first time in a long time, they're not coming out here for a preseason game because they have some China games. And I've been going to preseason games since '88.
But that's not them. That's the NBA. The NBA is trying to get global.
And that's a global brand.
Right. That's
the
Lakers.
That's
the
a
Lakers
global brand.
are the cream of the crop of sports brands.
Doesn't make me happy.
Yeah, you know.
Do you think Rob Pelinka stays? Because I have a feeling he might not even last by the time the season starts with all this other stuff coming out. There's drama all the time. He sounds like a liar with everything he says.
Yeah.
Is Jeannie just going to get fed up with this and be like, we have to just kind of scrap this and start over?
No, he dug up Heath Ledger from the grave to meet with Kobe. Like he's a magic man.
Next he's going to say James Harden was meeting with Biggie Smalls.
You know? I mean,
well, you know, when he met with Biggie and Lil C's and
when he was,
Kim,
you know, when he was, what was he one? Was he 1 year old?
You know, his rookie year.
I'm trying to help LeBron get Tupac on the shop.
You know, it was just amazing. Baby. I mean, you know,
I think it's a mess, and it's not even like it's somebody that's done anything good.
But they have no choice. But they have no choice. Who else are they going to get?
Exactly.
Who else are you going to get? You're stuck. Like you made that decision. You made your bed. Now you got to lie in it. You're stuck. Like you have no other alternatives right now. You got sitting at the table at free agency is going to look like the Last Supper. There's going to be so many chairs along that damn table. You're going to be like, okay, who am I answering to?
Yeah.
Is it this person? Is it this person? Is it that person? Like, who am I answering to? And then, I mean, look, poor Frank Vogel. I think Frank Vogel's a good coach. But how can you coach when you got a man that's about to throw a knife in your back and slit your throat?
Yeah. Like, they should have just hired Kidd.
But they didn't want to because of the backlash. Because they didn't want to hire him because of the backlash, because of his DUIs and his domestic violence issues.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you had to go, when you do that, you know what I mean? You have those type of situations, you know? So listen, they're in a world of hurt. I know LeBron is probably pissed. I mean, he's not too happy. Let me not say he's pissed, but I'm sure he's not too happy with what's going on. And that's why he's probably been silent. He's probably been recruiting on the low.
Oh, he's been recruiting on the loud.
But
you didn't see that video of everybody at his house?
Yeah, man, but that's, I mean,
if they try to make a trade for Chris Paul, I'm out.
Dude, that'd be the most ridiculous trade I've ever seen.
Years ago.
That would be my final straw.
If this was 2008, sure, Chris Paul would be a commodity.
But with that contract,
now he's a liability.
15 even possibly.
He can't because
he could have a career-ending injury at any moment.
And not only that, he's not the kind of individual. He's not the kind of individual that he can sustain. He's a good point guard. He's no longer an elite point guard.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. You're not going to solve the problem that way. You're not going to go deep in the playoffs with that.
With good.
You have a chance if you can get a Jimmy Butler.
And with that contract, you have to trade everybody anyway.
You got to.
You have to trade everybody to get him.
And you can't keep that number 4 pick. I don't care how many people you work out. You cannot keep that number 4 pick. And
I said that right when they got it, that it was gone.
If they can ship Lonzo Ball out, I will help them pack. I will call FedEx, UPS. Get him out of here. Get him the hell out of here.
Don't be happy because the Lonzo Ball rumor is for Bradley Beal.
Don't go to look, no. For what? You better trade John with him, too.
You're going to get Lonzo Ball
with John.
Well, but do you understand what I'm saying?
You're going to get nobody taking that contract.
You're going to get Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, and the 4th pick.
Stevie Wonder ain't taking that contract. No, John Wall is stuck in the nation's capital.
Lonzo, Kuzma, the 4th pick, and then another, player to keep Kuzma, to match.
I could mess around and deal with that.
You like Kuzma or Ingram better? I lean towards Ingram.
I like Kuzma. I think Kuzma's been the most consistent.
He's been the most consistent.
And he continues to grow.
But what's his ceiling? That's the only thing. Is he going to keep growing into another stratosphere, or is he just going to continue to be very good?
It comes to the coaching and the system.
Okay.
I think before Ingram got hurt, him and LeBron started playing really good together.
Starting to click.
And I think he's a potential all-star. I'm not sure if Kuzma is.
But Brandon, I think Kuzma is, definitely. But I think Brandon, it took him 3.5 years before we finally saw his potential, coming about.
Has he been in the league that long?
It's about 3 years.
That was his 3rd year last year.
It's about 3 years. Dang. 3.5 years.
First year he got hurt a little bit.
A little bit, but I mean, I think we're seeing that with younger people. They're coming in at a lot younger age. He was a young college player, anyways.
Yeah.
So he only played 1 year at Duke.
19. He was 19 in the league.
Yeah. So I mean, this is what happened with Laker fans with D'Angelo Russell. What they're doing now. Oh, you guys should have kept him. It's like everybody was saying how horrible he was, and then when he gets traded, does some stuff. That's why even with Lonzo, I'm like, hang on to him another year, see what he could do. Because I think he has skills.
Lonzo has flashes, but he's the consistent Mr. Inconsistent, and that's the kind of dude you do not want. He to me, he is what he is.
And he gets hurt too much.
He's injury prone.
That's the thing.
He does get hurt too much.
He is who he is. I think he could probably be, if he stayed healthy, he could be one of the most elite passers we've ever seen.
Yeah.
The way he passes the ball is geometric. And the way he sees the court. But in today's NBA, you got to be able to create a shot. You got to be able to shoot and create opportunities consistently for other players. His defense is good. But again, he has to stay on the floor. And he can pass like crazy, but he can't shoot. Yeah. You look at the elite point guards that we talk about. We talk about Steph Curry. We talk about Damian Lillard. Why? Because those guys can create, they can shoot.
Yeah.
We talk about, a Russell Westbrook, even though Russell is the shoot first, pass second.
And he can't really shoot either, though.
No, he can't shoot that. But I'm saying he's willing to take the shots.
Yeah.
Lonzo takes just horrible percentage shots.
Well, and you never feel confident when he pulls them either.
Hell no.
That's the real key. I feel confident when Russell's pulling. Even if he's having a bad game, it's like,
Drew Holiday.
This is the one that's going to get him hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Lonzo, I'm like, yes, let him shoot.
I think Drew Holiday is an excellent point guard. He's a true point guard, and he doesn't get the pub that everybody else gets, but I think Drew Holiday is an excellent point guard. And him playing with Zion and possibly, if they get that 3rd pick, probably going to be R.J. Barrett. That New Orleans team is going to be fun to watch. Now, it may not win a whole lot of games, but they're going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're not going to take Lonzo and
No. So again, for the 4th pick, I only say that if we can package that 4th and 9 and move up to 2.
I don't think anyone's moving.
2.
They're not moving. No one's giving up. No one's giving up Ja.
Give me 2.
You have to try to get 3. The only thing you could do is try to get the Knicks.
I don't want R.J. Barrett.
That's the only trade you can get.
That's essentially R.J. Barrett.
1 and 2 are not being moved at all.
That's R.J. Barrett for Brad Beal. That is not. That's not enough for me.
1 and 2 are not being moved at all. There's no chance.
Absolutely. I mean, hey man, we'll see. It's going to be a very, very interesting summer. You know what I mean? It's going to be a very interesting summer.
So I know how he feels about this. Do you like all the player movement? Is that something that you like as somebody in the media, or would you rather see players remaining a little bit more loyal to their?
No, I love it, man. It brings a change of scenery. It brings a more competitive edge. I think it's cool.
Do you think it affects? Do you think it affects fans and how fans like appreciate the game or change?
Again, you talking about magic word fans. they're gonna feel one way 1 minute, and they're gonna feel another way another minute. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be something that, listen. Fans were mad at LeBron once upon a time. Now they back to loving him. Fans were mad at Kevin Durant. They'll be back to loving him.
No, they still mad at him.
But I'm saying they'll be back. It goes in cycles. It goes in cycles. People hate the Golden State Warriors now, but then when they go away for the next 2 years and don't really make the NBA Finals again for maybe another couple of years, people will start to miss them again, and they'll start to love them again because they feel like they're the underdog, right? So my whole thing is, listen, it's great for the NBA. It's great for merchandising. It's great for the financial aspect.
It's great for merchandising for sure because you have to buy a new jersey every five
so
seconds.
It's great. So, that's what I have to say, man. I got to get to another dinner.
Yes,
okay. All right, bro. Well, thank you for stepping in with us.
I appreciate y'all having me. Thank you
sure,
so
man.
much for having me. It's been fun. We definitely got to talk.
Definitely, man. For sure.
We'll connect.
For sure,
before
man.
I'm out of here.
Definitely. How long you in town for?
Sunday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, man. Well, hey, man, Nick Hamilton. Once again, give them your social media. Let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Nick Hamilton LA. Catch me on YouTube at The Morning After with Nick Hamilton. So all the interviews, all in the videos, talking.
I was laughing. I was watching your Diana Taurasi video, and you had like an intro. I'm like, why's the camera on his feet? And then like the music's playing, it's like panning up. He's like just making this funny look. I'm like,
yeah.
He's being cool. I thought the cameraman's just screwing everything up.
Man, had little effects to it. That's all. Had a little bit of effects. Man. You know what I mean?
Good stuff, man. But just keep doing what you're doing, man. We'll definitely connect, man. I appreciate you coming through the studio.
Hey, thank you guys for having me, man. Continue success. What you guys are doing, man. I was watching you on the way over here, man. It's fun. So
definitely,
you guys
man.
Keep it up, man. And don't lose hope in Vegas sports, man.
Oh, not
coming
all.
up.
Not at all.
He's fine.
I'm waiting for an NBA team so I can jump off this Laker bandwagon.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
God. And I will forever fry you.
Hey, you can fry me all you want, but if they don't
burn all the stuff. I want all of it gone. Go ahead and get rid of Kobe over there in the corner.
I like the past of the Lakers. I like the past, but if they don't clean this up, listen, man, I'm trying to bounce.
Hey, man.
They're trying to give me reasons to bounce. You feel me?
Oh, man.
Hey, man, have faith in the Lakers, man. They'll be all right.
I do, honestly,
They'll be all right.
and I've been telling them that.
It's the Lakers.
Listen, they can make moves this summer that ends all this drama that's been going on. If they get one free agent, a couple other role players, because they have a lot of cap space. It's still LeBron. LeBron has a lot of time off.
Next year is his last year of being LeBron. I'm just here to let you know that.
You can say that, but listen, he had a whole summer off.
I'm letting you know He got 4 ball tires on that car. Y'all better keep playing with me. Transmissions.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see, because we've never seen anybody like him before. So you have no one to compare him to.
Exactly.
I just have father time.
Hey, we'll see.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen. It's gonna be a great offseason, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, Nick.
Thank
y'all
you
so much,
bro. Yes, sir.
You have a good one.
You too.
At Nick Hamilton LA on all social media. Make sure you follow him and check out everything he's doing. And so we're gonna wrap this up in a minute too, Josh. But I know you have a couple other things you want to talk about. We do have the Stanley Cup final. It's tied 1-1 right now.
Yep. I'm just praying for St. Louis to win 3 straight games, and I want them all to be 1-0, because if that happens, I'm getting $1,000.
Really?
So it needs to happen.
Wait, why?
Because I told you because I JD. I met JD. All right, Nick. I met JD, the guy from Goat District.
Yeah.
When I was in Toronto, and so like we were talking because it was so funny. Like he was like, who is this guy? Like just roll up in the fantasy group and like take over. Like I was up by 30. I was up by 30 points because the fantasy league is it's a survivor league. So as that's
we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
That's fine. It's a survivor league. So each round where someone loses, you lose players. They die.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So like I again, like I said, I felt like the Knights were gonna lose to the Sharks in the first round. I called that on the show. Everybody thought I was crazy. That turned out to be a great pick. And I was like one of the only people that had the Sharks.
Is this off camera?
I
had to make sure that was off camera.
I had Eric Carlson. I had Hurdle. I had Logan Couture. I had a good chunk of Sharks.
All right.
And so I jumped to this insane lead, like because everybody else had a lot of people from the Penguins, had a lot of Golden Knights. So when the Knights lost, that one crucified half the league. Half the league was like, oh, they were just taking mortal wounds. So that one
and they lost
boosted.
so many of the best teams. So I'm sure you're drafting from the best teams.
And so when I lost the Caps, I lost like 3 people, but like I had enough people that it was like I was still eking along. And then when the Sharks lost last round, the dude that had all the Bruins, he just kept coming.
Yeah.
And so like, cause JD been out since like the second round. Like his team was trash after the second round. And so but like right now I'm like, I'm wisping at air. Like I'm drowning. I'm taking on water, something terrible. So I need the games.
You have to have a miracle almost to win this money.
I've got one guy. I've got David Krejci on the Bruins. And so it's like, all right, Krejci, if the Bruins win, I want only Krejci to score, and I want these games to be real tight.
That's funny.
So, but it's a G. So I'm hoping that I can.
All right, now beyond your betting, beyond the money, who do you think wins this series? It's tied 1-1. St. Louis got a game in Boston, which they definitely need to get. I'm anti-Boston. I want to see St. Louis do it. I'm just sick of them winning everything in every sport.
I would rather, in all fairness, I would rather see St. Louis win. They've never won.
Won.
I think they've been to 3.
They haven't been since 70 against Boston.
Yeah, that's right.
Look at me with my hockey knowledge.
That's actually really good.
Yes, sir.
What was the famous goal that was scored in that one?
That one.
Dang.
Almost had it.
It's who I'm trying to think who it was. It's was it Bobby Hall? No, it's I think it wasn't Gordie Howe. But anyway, it's the goal where he's like soaring through the air.
Yeah.
Like where he's like celebrating and like got tripped and fell, but it was in Game 7. It was an overtime game winner in Game 7 to win the series. I think the Blues quietly, people were picking them to get out of the first round as a 7 seed. They're a very good team, and they're getting enough goaltending right now, I think, to be viable. So we'll see. We'll see.
And, I mean, we've talked about this multiple times on the show. I've talked to people that are kind of just now watching the Stanley Cup final and watched the last couple rounds of the playoffs. St. Louis, January 3rd, 2019, had the number 1 worst record in the NHL.
Yep.
And this team is now in the Stanley Cup final. Like, that to me is amazing. And that's really the main reason I want them to win, but besides my Boston hate, is the fact that you can – that's like the Knicks.
Yeah.
Doing that and being where Toronto's at right now. That's
coming in at the 7th
of.
or 8th seed and just going.
It's a little different in hockey because it's just a little different than NBA. I mean, we saw a lot of the good teams lose in the first round. In the NBA, you wouldn't have seen
all those
Golden
teams
State lose like the Lightning
everybody lose, basically. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
But just the fact that they were the worst team in the league, like this year.
In
2019, like they were the worst team in the league, had the worst record on January 3rd. You have to do a lot as a team to even get your psyche up. I don't even care if you have the skills as players, but to get your confidence and your psyche up to be like, let's keep playing and win games. Usually that's halfway through the season. You're like, okay, we can
start looking to the draft.
And you start looking at the veterans saying like, I need to start playing for a contract. So you start getting more selfish. We didn't see that with them. They end up getting to the playoffs, which was almost a miracle in itself.
Yeah.
They get to the playoffs, and now they've taken out every team that they've faced, and now they've won a game in Boston, tied 1-1, going back to St. Louis.
I've called the other team against them the entire playoff.
Yeah.
Like, every round is like, oh, yeah, this is the round where St. Louis loses. Oh, no. All right.
Who'd they play?
I don't even remember.
The Avs.
No.
Sharks played the Avs.
No.
And I picked them last round just because I didn't want the Sharks.
No.
So St. Louis played
the Avs beat the Flames.
Yeah, and then they played the Sharks in the second
round.
St. Louis played. Who did St. Louis play in the second round?
Who they play in the first round?
That's getting on my nerves.
Well, okay. Who is the 2 seed in the league?
That was.
I
don't know why I can't think of it right now.
Dang.
I don't want to have to go to ESPN.
No, you're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to do it.
Don't like it.
Yeah. well, okay. So I'm just trying to think who was good this year in the West. It was the
They beat the Sharks in the finals. They beat the
Flames.
Dallas Stars, and then their first round.
But who is the first round? Because it was the number 2 seed. It would have been.
Oh no, Dallas was the first round. Wait, no, that was wild card. No, Dallas was a wild card. So, how come it's not showing the first round?
Let me see.
Sorry, folks. Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
So they Jets were definitely a better team.
That was who it was.
You know, we
the
saw
Jets.
them last year. I think that was the Western Conference Finals. That we played them in.
That's right.
And that was a team that we were worried about because they were so big and fast, and you know they just had a lot of good players.
They were the Capitals,
and we got blown up in the first game. We got blown out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that was, you know, they went through some good teams to get to where they're at.
Yeah, no,
the Stars were a weaker team.
Yeah.
But you know,
the Stars went through a good team to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So anytime you get past a good team, you have the confidence, and now you're a good team. So, I mean, yeah, St. Louis is there right now. What do you think the rest of the series looks like? I feel like it's definitely a 6 or 7 game series in my mind.
Well, it's hockey, so it's gonna go 6 or 7.
Yeah.
No one's about to rattle off 3 straight.
Yeah.
I think a lot's gonna be shown in these next 2 games. How St. Louis is able to take that momentum. If St. Louis falls right back down and they lose game 3, I think Boston probably ends up taking it in the end. Yeah. I don't know how long it's gonna go, but they need to ride that momentum and that wave and win game 3. Because they do that, then they're putting Boston fully on alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Boston comes right back and they win, then it's like one of those things where you're like constantly fighting to get back into the series.
Back in, yeah.
So
you have to take advantage at home.
Yeah, especially your first game at home, and it's your first Stanley Cup final game, so it's gonna be a lot of energy. Yeah. But with that energy, like I can tell you as a Cap fan, there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
it's not like basketball. Basketball, you know, the energy can carry you. Hockey, that energy's great, but if you get a lot of near misses, it starts to turn into angst.
Well, I think Capitals had a lot more pressure in their playoffs just because they were the best team in the league. They were always there. Yeah. They were always supposed to win. With St. Louis, I feel like the fact that they were the worst team in the league, I think that alleviates so much pressure that it's like, look, we're here. We're going to have fun because we weren't even supposed to be here
at all.
And I think that helps them going back home.
No, I think that there's definitely something to be said with that. One thing I will say for game 3, because I know you haven't watched many St. Louis Blues games, catch the national anthem.
Okay, what do they do? I haven't watched the national anthem.
It's gonna be home of the Blues, but they like scream it. And when I was at the Caps Blues game when I was in St. Louis, I was shook. I was like, oh, wasn't prepared.
I was at the Aces game on Sunday, and when Knights came on, you know, half the crowd screamed Knights.
Oh.
Because the whole crowd does it at the Knights game.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
That's funny. That shows you that the Knights are really starting to take hold in a big way.
Yeah.
Because on Oh Say Can You See, like basically in DC, in the DC area, everyone screams out "Oh," like when you get to because of the Orioles.
Yeah.
It started Orioles games, and I thought that was just what everyone did until I got like out
you
of
went
the
somewhere
area.
else and you said it,
and I was like, "Oh,
like what's this guy doing?
Oh no,
you're disrespectful." And you're wearing a Washington football jersey with the name on it.
Man, yes, it's not taped.
It's just all kind of disrespectful,
not taped on my side. No tape on this side.
Listen, man, I'm just glad there wasn't a fight in the room today. Cause
you
looked like you wanted to lean over, but I'm glad you guys got to hash that out.
Oh yeah, you know, I respect both sides. I respect if people say that we should change the name because I would be heartbroken if they did, but I understand it.
Yeah.
I'm not clamoring for them to do it, because I have way too much memorabilia at this point in my life. But you know, if they did, it wouldn't be sadness.
I mean, you get to get new memorabilia, and
no, I'm not looking forward to that. Are we giving me new memorabilia half off? If that's the case,
definitely not.
Yeah, exactly. So
they're trying to make a lot of money off that when that happens.
A whole rack. So no,
That's what she said. Yep.
Oh my goodness! In the show.
Well, we have one more thing. Well, 2 more things to talk about real quick. Doc Rivers got fined $50,000, and I called it right when that happened, I'm like, tampering.
Did you, see? I didn't see what he said. What did he say?
He just said that Kawhi's the closest thing to Michael Jordan. But listen, the NBA knows they're going after him. You shouldn't
joke.
You shouldn't be on the show. I knew it was going to be tampering just because they're being very strict with that right now. With so many other things that have happened.
But he wasn't.
He was on ESPN.
Yeah, he was
Finals
on
preview show with Magic Johnson, Stephen A. Michael Wilbon.
Magic was trying to get him to tamper so bad.
He did too.
But I mean, but in terms of, he wasn't saying that in any relation to his team, right? He was just. But you're not allowed to talk about other teams' players.
He was hyping him up.
You're not allowed to talk about other teams' players.
Let me tell you, if he wasn't a free agent, there's zero chance Doc Rivers says that with Kobe Bryant existing, with LeBron James existing, saying that he's the closest thing we've ever seen to Michael Jordan. He didn't say like right now in the league. He said ever.
Oh yeah, that's a bit of a farce.
That's tampering.
That's a bit of a farce.
Because you don't say that unless you're trying to go after him as a free agent. You don't give him those kind of props.
Yeah.
You could say like this is the best two-way player we've seen since Scottie Pippen, maybe. But
I don't even think Kawhi is that kind of guy where he's looking for that kind of like, oh yeah, thanks for that, and that's gonna sway me.
No, but I think Doc is so excited for the fact that he can get him that's the reason. But I knew it was going to be tampering. 50,000, Baltimore will take care of it. ESPN might even take care of it for baiting him like that.
That's right. That was what you were saying.
You don't have him on the show. Like, you know what you're going to ask him when he's on the show. So
like you have him on the show and then you're reporting the fine while he's still there. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, how does that work?
Thanks for that.
Like, that was a great soundbite.
They had the article ready.
And Adam Silver has now responded and said that this is not going to be allowed.
Yeah,
that's so terrible.
All right, and last but not least, we're going to get into it. Do you have one today?
What's that?
Oops. I hit the wrong button. So I'll go ahead and give mine first while you think about it. I'm unfriending a sport that's not a sport, but it was on ESPN last night.
Oh.
The National Spelling Bee, where they ran out of words, out of challenging words to give these kids that I think there was 42 correct words in a row spelled out, and 8 kids won the championship. Now, listen, if we're not living in an everybody wins society already,
yeah,
this just shows even more.
That's the National Spelling Bee.
If you're on ESPN, it's a sports station, and the National Spelling Bee's on there, listen, we have to have a winner. You're on the sports network.
We don't have ties. Hockey got rid of those.
Listen, there's UFC on there now. There's baseball on there. There's hockey on there. There's too many competitions on there where, listen.
It's a competition.
Okay, there's 8 of you. You tied. Listen, we ran out of words. So, kids, this is what we have to do.
It's blood sport.
We have an octagon backstage. We're actually lifting the curtain up as it is. We have some people to oil you down.
Who walks out? That's who the champion is.
Whoever walks out is the champion. I don't care if you're a girl or a boy. I think there was 2 girls that won. Listen, you have to have a winner. I'm sorry. There's not a competition, and 8 people are holding up the championship trophy. So you know what that does? Let me just tell you what that would look like in another sport.
Okay.
That would be the 2019 NBA Finals champions are the Toronto Raptors, Golden State Warriors, Milwaukee Bucks, Portland Trailblazers, Denver Nuggets, Philadelphia 76ers, Boston Celtics, and Houston Rockets. Just give the 8 best teams.
That's crazy.
The championship.
That's sad.
Have just one rep from all of them holding it. Yo, we got 8 MVP awards. Listen, man, somebody has to win. It's okay to win. Losing actually builds character.
Losing definitely. I would say this: you remember your losses a lot more than you remember your wins. At least for me.
Yeah, and then when you do finally win,
yeah,
it's so much better because of all the losses, and that's why you see people cry.
Yeah,
that's why you saw Shaq in 2000 cry.
Yeah,
because he had been so close already.
Yeah,
and lost. You're not remembering Shaq for how many times he lost in the finals. You're remembering like, yo, he won 4 championships
and lost 2. He only lost 2. Yeah,
was it only 2?
Yeah, Orlando,
okay.
and then LA. He only lost the one in LA.
He never lost to Miami. He didn't get there.
He won. He won the one.
He didn't get there 1 year in Miami.
Yeah,
but
he won the one he got there.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, losing is okay, especially when this kid, you have to teach them, like, not everything in life is a handout.
That's right. So we're going to fight out.
How do you run out of words, man? I'm sorry. You ran out of words. Anyways.
You unfriended me.
Who you got?
So being on the spot, I'm going to go with what we talked about earlier. The ceremonial first pitch of the White Sox game last week.
Oh, my God.
Where baby girl threw it from the mound. I give her props for throwing it from the mound because now they even allow people to throw it from the grass to get the first pitch across the home plate, which to me, I still don't understand why this is such a hard thing in life to at least get it somewhere in the area of the person you're throwing it to. But she whiffed and threw the ball right at the cameraman that was taking a picture of her ceremonial pitch. Hit him right in the face. When I saw that live, I almost threw up. That was too funny.
I want to see his picture because it looked like he did get a snap.
He got a good picture. He might
have a ball just coming right at him.
If he tried to get two, he definitely has a ball that's still in frame for sure.
Because most photographers are taking a lot of different steps.
The reason I unfriend her is because do you know how much these lenses cost?
Bro, yes, I do.
If she actually,
I'm getting a small lens for $125. So I mean, his lens was it could have been more than the body of the camera.
It definitely the camera maybe 2-3 Gs.
There's lenses that are a lot more expensive than the body of the camera.
I was at Best Buy and they were like, oh yeah, this lens is on sale for 4 Gs. I was like, on sale? Am I capturing their soul? Like, is
Ridiculous.
this the essence of the person? This is insane. So that's the reason why she gets unfriended. She might have really messed up a guy's livelihood.
Yeah, could have. I mean, you don't know what he's making. You don't know who he works for.
That's right.
He might not be working for the big network.
He probably didn't get any more pictures that day.
Listen, we've covered events. We covered a hockey game. I was scared for that puck to come through that little hole in the glass.
Oh my god!
And hit my camera.
Did you see the game where it actually went through that? That happened this year. I feel like it was a Knights game.
I'm not sure. I didn't see that. A puck
literally, like, it went out of play and it went directly into the cameraman.
I didn't see the cameraman.
Yeah,
but
it went right into it went right into the hole. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It like I was
paranoid because they were coming by. I'm like, oh, let me pull the camera back. And then sad news. Well, real quick, I want to tell Mo's joke before I get into serious news. But she said for the spelling bee, they could have done pick a letter A through Z. Whoever got closest to Z wins. Closest to Z.
Oh my gosh, one
Z.
Zero.
Man,
because we go right from letters to numbers. Zero.
Yeah. There was, I think was it a Cubs game? A little girl got hit.
Oh yeah.
With a foul ball, and we've seen this. We saw an older lady died last year, I believe. I believe it was Dodger Stadium.
I think so. Where and it was her and her husband's like
78
something.
Her 78th birthday, and their like
anniversary,
wedding anniversary at the same time.
That was.
And she ended up getting killed. This little girl, I think she's gonna be all right.
She's okay. Who hit her? Why am I? Because I watched it live when it happened. Dang.
Alberto Alomar?
Yeah, thank you. Albert Almora hit her, and he was like when it happened, it took him like about a good 2 minutes to get himself together.
Oh, he was
in between innings.
It was sad seeing that.
In between innings, he cried. He had to go into the dugout. They were talking about him coming out the game, and it was a 2-1 game. Like, that's our center fielder. Like, he plays great defense, so we already have some injuries, so to just take him out for a non-injury is like, dang.
Especially when you have no idea what happened to the girl, because it's on everyone's mind when someone just died a year ago.
Yeah.
That every time a foul ball goes out like that, because some of those foul balls, I mean, some of them they're high pop flies,
rocket ships.
We know they're coming, but
that
some
was a
of
laser
those,
beam. That was
man.
Wait. All right, so I have a funny story on that. My boss, one of my bosses at the Hall of Fame, he's
You would think of a funny story at this time.
Oh my goodness. He's had season tickets for the Red Sox for like 15 years.
All right.
And he got hit in the gut by a foul ball, and like he was basically like, when the ball comes that fast, you literally don't even see it. Like, he was like like the ball literally is just a black dot, and when it hit him, it hit him so bad, like he thought he was internally bleeding.
Wow.
He thought he was gonna die, and he literally had like a black bruise for like 2 months that did not go away, and it was like on his gut. And he's a bigger guy, so when it happened, like once I knew he was okay, I laughed at him.
That sounds painful.
I laughed at him for a long time.
For a long time.
Still laughing now, and that's been at least 10 years.
Well, they're talking now, like, what should they do? I mean, because they extend the net, and it's extended quite a bit now.
To third
you
on
just putting all the way around the field. I mean, you can't put it in the outfield because those foul balls aren't coming that fast to
down
the outfield.
there,
but
down there.
I think you need to extend it to the foul line.
Well, look,
foul
baseball
post.
again. Baseball. This is one of those things with baseball in today's society. Everyone goes to baseball games and you're on your phone. You're not like that's like when people say that baseball is boring. It's like no, it's not boring. It's because you're not dialed in.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be dialed in on every pitch. You know what I mean? Like and at home, there's moments where I take my naps.
Kind of
I
boring,
get tired.
folks.
I get tired.
I would love to go to a game. I can pay attention going to a game.
Have you never gone to a game?
I've never. I don't know. I think I've went to preseason Major League, but no, I've never been. We're trying to go to Dodger Stadium. And stuff like that.
Albert and I are more than likely going to Dodgers Cubs in like 2 weeks.
I'm down.
All right,
maybe.
It would be a Saturday. It would be a Saturday.
Guarantee I make this. By the way,
did you make that?
got skills, bro.
That was nice.
Don't worry, my left hand.
Fair.
I'm left-handed. And there was actually, I think it was 2002. What game was that? NHL.
Oh.
With a girl, 13, she died getting hit with a hockey puck.
Oh wow!
And I remember seeing that on the news, like just it was tragic. And I'm not even sure because I feel like she was behind the goal. So I don't know if it like went through the net somehow.
No, that was before they had netting.
Oh, so they didn't have the net.
They didn't have the netting back then. The netting now that's probably I'd say maybe 7 to 10 years. There wasn't always
I didn't
netting.
realize that.
Yeah, there wasn't all that that netting is new. Those fans
she
were
was
in play.
hit by a puck. This is 2002.
Okay.
Blue Jackets, Calgary Flames. The Columbus player Epson Knutson of Norway fired a slap shot. Stop it. It was deflected by a defenseman's stick that sailed over the glass partition and into the stands at the west end of the ice. Then the puck bounced off a fan before hitting the girl.
Wow, that thing was a magical puck. That's horrible.
She walked out of the arena accompanied by medical workers. Man.
I remember when the guy died. I think that was for Arizona Diamondbacks game where he like was trying to catch a foul ball and like fell between like there was like I guess a gap in between the stands, which I never understood, but fell like down there and fell on his head and died. Like
you got to be careful. I mean, listen, man, it's a foul ball. Like I've seen people not die, but fall over and get hurt.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, it's not always safe to jump over the edge to get a baseball.
Yeah.
Even these people, man, we've heard in the Grand Canyon, there's like been 8 deaths in the past 2 months because people are taking selfies slipping off the edge. I could not imagine going like that.
No.
I mean, you get a good picture. Hopefully, it's like Instagram Live and.
And then you had to go there.
Don't laugh.
Yeah, you had.
It's
a great picture.
Listen,
that's one of those pictures that Apple steals and like posts later, like on commercials.
Yeah. Like it's sad. It's sad. But listen, some of these things are self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to take a selfie on the edge of the Grand freaking Canyon,
you take it where it's safe. You don't have to be.
Listen, man, get a drone. Have it take it for you. Get a drone. But listen, we are here anytime we want to be here, but specifically Mondays at 4. We'll be back Monday. We have a guy that played with Bart Starr for 8 years, was his roommate for most of that time as well. He's going to be calling in on Monday. Bart Starr passed away last week, so we're going to talk to him about that, get some good stories from him. I was telling him about social media and podcasting. I'm like, wait, you're 74. So he's excited to be on, though. So
I'm excited to talk to him.
So it's going to be a really fun interview. Somebody that played in the NFL for a long time. We had Marlon Greenwood in the building yesterday talking to him about his NFL career and some of the things he's doing out here in Las Vegas. So make sure you check that out if you missed it. He has an event coming up tomorrow for his organization. Doing football camps, so he has a fundraiser tomorrow at Binion's down here in downtown Las Vegas. So if you're out here, make sure you check that out as well. So a lot of good things happening. We are setting up a lot of interviews for the summer. A lot of good things going on. A lot of sports in Vegas, like we were talking to Nick about. So I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited about that. So we're going to do that. And, man, if you guys are just now tuned in, watch the replay. Download the app at Guerilla Cross. All of our podcasts and video replays are on there, so make sure you check it out. And we will see you Monday. Have a good weekend, folks.